Have you ever been perplexed by the complexities of female psychology? The truth is there are potent psychological techniques at play. Behind everyday interaction lies dark psychology, which can subtly shift the tides of attraction in your favor. In this video, we'll delve into 9 powerful techniques and explore how Stoic virtues ensure these techniques are used ethically and responsibly. The term dark psychology might sound ominous, conjuring images of manipulation and deceit. But that's not what this is about. These techniques, when used ethically, are tools for understanding the unconscious forces driving human behavior. When you understand these mechanisms, you can present yourself compellingly, fostering deeper connections. This is where Stoic virtues act as our moral compass in navigating interpersonal relationships. Firstly, the power of silence. In our hyper-communicative age, silence can seem awkward, but in attraction, silence is potent. Imagine you're on a date, the conversation flowing effortlessly. Then you pause, allowing a moment of silence. This break creates anticipation, drawing her attention to your presence. Silence becomes a vacuum, pulling her in and amplifying your masculinity. It conveys self-assuredness, a quiet confidence that speaks volumes. A man of substance is comfortable in his own skin, and that comfort is magnetic. Next up, emotional mirroring. Human beings are social creatures hardwired to seek connection. From the moment we are born, we crave the warmth and understanding of others. This innate desire to connect is what drives many of our interactions and relationships. Emotional mirroring involves subtly reflecting the emotions and behaviors of the person you're interacting with. It's a natural, often unconscious process where we mimic the expressions, tone, and body language of those around us. Think about how good it feels to be around someone who just seems to get you. They laugh when you laugh, they nod when you speak, and they seem to understand your feelings without you having to explain them. This sense of shared experience creates a powerful bond. When someone mirrors your emotions, it feels like they are walking in your shoes, experiencing the world as you do. This shared emotional journey fosters trust and intimacy. Aim for subtle reflections of her emotional state. Notice her body language, her tone of voice, and her facial expressions. By subtly matching these cues, you show empathy and understanding. If she's excited, let your enthusiasm shine through. Match her energy with a smile, a nod, or an enthusiastic response. This not only validates her feelings, but also strengthens your connection. By mirroring her emotions, you create a subconscious sense of rapport, deepening the connection. This technique can be especially powerful in building relationships, whether they're personal or professional. It shows that you are attuned to her feelings and that you value her emotional experience. Next up, scarcity. It is a powerful force. We place higher value on things perceived as scarce. The same principle applies in romantic attraction. Present yourself as a man of high value who is in demand. Focus on subtly conveying that you're a man with options, living a fulfilling life. Talk about your hobbies, ambitions, and interesting people you meet. Project an aura of abundance, creating a subtle sense of urgency. Next, the Benjamin Franklin effect. It states that we tend to like people more after doing them a favor. This psychological phenomenon is named after Benjamin Franklin, who famously used it to win over a rival. By asking his adversary to lend him a rare book, Franklin found that the man became more amicable towards him. This counterintuitive strategy can be surprisingly effective in building rapport and fostering positive relationships. It seems illogical, but it's rooted in cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort experienced when we hold 2 or more contradictory beliefs, values, or attitudes. When we do a favor for someone, our brain needs to resolve the inconsistency between our actions and our feelings towards that person. When we do something nice for someone, our brain reconciles this action with our beliefs about that person. This reconciliation process leads us to adjust our perception of them, often in a more positive light. Essentially, our mind justifies the favor by convincing us that we must like the person, otherwise why would we help them? We adjust our perception, viewing them more positively. This shift can be subtle but significant, influencing how we interact with them in the future. Over time, these small positive adjustments can lead to a stronger, more favorable relationship. Start small, asking for a minor favor. This could be something as simple as borrowing a pen or asking for advice on a minor issue. These small requests are less likely to be refused and can serve as the foundation for building a deeper connection. These acts can create a subconscious shift in her perception of you, Each favor, no matter how minor, reinforces the idea that you are someone worth helping and, by extension, someone worth liking. This makes her more likely to reciprocate your kindness with increased affection. Over time, this mutual exchange of favors and positive perceptions can lead to a more meaningful and affectionate relationship. By understanding and utilizing the Benjamin Franklin effect, you can foster stronger connections and build lasting bonds with those around you. If you're finding this exploration valuable, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me continue creating content that empowers you to build deeper connections. The door in the face technique. This technique uses psychological judo, starting with a large request likely to be rejected. Then follow up with a smaller, more reasonable request. The initial rejection makes the second request seem more palatable. For example, suggest an elaborate weekend getaway. When she declines, follow up with a casual invitation like grabbing coffee. The contrast makes the second option more appealing. This increases the likelihood of a yes. Next up, the foot in the door technique. This technique builds commitment incrementally. People are more likely to agree to a large request if they've committed to a smaller one. Start with something small, almost impossible to refuse. This could be asking for directions or borrowing a pen. Once she's complied, you've established a small level of commitment. This makes her more likely to agree to a slightly larger request. Make each subsequent request a natural progression from the last. Our next exploration is the lowball technique. This technique plays on our aversion to loss and desire for consistency. Humans naturally dislike losing what they believe they already have, and we strive to be consistent with our commitments. Secure an initial commitment by offering something enticing, then subtly increase the cost. This method is often used in sales, but it can be applied in various social situations as well. For example, suggest a simple coffee date. This is a low-pressure, easy-to-agree-to scenario that sets the stage for further interaction. Once she's agreed, suggest a nearby restaurant with live music. This slight escalation feels natural and enhances the experience without feeling like a bait and switch. The initial agreement creates a psychological commitment. Once someone has agreed to a small request, they are more likely to agree to a larger one. Use this technique ethically, creating an opportunity for a more enjoyable experience. The key is to ensure that the escalation genuinely adds value and enjoyment. The goal is not to trick her, but to enhance the experience for both of you. Building trust and creating memorable moments are essential in any relationship. Imagine the joy of sharing a beautiful evening with live music, good food, and great company. This shared experience can strengthen your bond. Always consider the ethical implications of your actions. Respect and honesty should guide your use of the lowball technique. When used correctly, this technique can lead to positive outcomes and long-term benefits in your relationships. It's about creating a win-win situation where both parties feel valued and appreciated. So next time you plan a date, think about how you can use the lowball technique to create a memorable and enjoyable experience for both of you. Which of these techniques do you think is most effective and why? Share your thoughts in the comments. Understanding these techniques is just the first step. True mastery lies in using them ethically and responsibly. Use of time pressure. Time can be your ally or enemy in attraction. A sense of urgency can amplify attraction, creating excitement. This isn't about pressuring her into hasty decisions, it's about creating memorable experiences within limited time frames. Suggest spontaneous adventures, injecting excitement into the interaction. Seize the moment, embracing spontaneity and demonstrating you're a man who lives life on his own terms. Finally, the peak end rule. It highlights the importance of ending interactions on a high note. Our brains remember experiences based on the most intense point and the final moments. End on a positive, memorable note to leave a lasting impression. Ensure the final moments are filled with laughter, shared enjoyment, and genuine interest. We've explored the subtle psychological forces that influence attraction. Understanding these techniques is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in using this knowledge responsibly. Genuine connection cannot be built on manipulation or deceit. Use these techniques to foster understanding, build rapport, and create meaningful connections. Become the best version of yourself, a man of integrity and compassion. If this resonated with you, check out our video, 10 Things Men Should Never Do with Women. Gentlemen, When you embody these qualities, you attract others through the sheer force of your character.